So I think make friends with your local florist. Don't overthink it. If you do need to pop in somewhere and buy a bunch, separate that bunch. Don't put it into a vase in the middle of your table. Get little bud vases. And it doesn't even have to be bud vases. Like if you have a beautiful bowl, put some flowers into that. Just be playful and don't take it too seriously.
Welcome to Style Stories, brought to you by Easy Living Interiors, helping you transform your space and create the feeling of home. Hello and welcome to Style Stories. We're coming to you today from our parlour room in our beautiful Sandyford flagship store, and we're joined by someone who knows all about transforming a space, the brilliant Heather Condren, founder of Flower Pop. Heather has brought something really special to the Irish floral scene with her bold, design-led and infectious energy. From a small wreath pop-up to an award-winning studio in Dublin 8, Flower Pop is now the go-to for standout floral moments at weddings, events and brand collaborations. Heather's work is full of colour, joy and character, just like she is, and we're so excited to have her here with us today.
Hi, how's it going?
So let's go. So Heather, let's start at the beginning. Can you take us back to that Christmas wreath pop-up in 2021? What were your expectations then, and when did you realise this could really be something big?
So actually, it's quite funny because I changed careers kind of during COVID, the way lots of people did. And I was doing that pop-up going, I'm just going to do this for a little while now while I find a real job. That's what I kept saying. I'm just going to do this while I find a real job. I love it, it's fun, but I'll need to look for a new job. In the new year, I'll look for a new job. And then Valentine's Day came along. And then Mother's Day came along. And I kept saying, after this, I'll look for a real job, until several people in my life pointed out that I did in fact have a real job.
And the thing is, now pardon the pun, but your industry is evergreen. So there's always a celebration, there's always a season. So like you say, there's Valentine's Day, then we're into Easter, it's summer. So it's round year. So it's amazing that you've been able to make a career out of something that like you're clearly really passionate about, but also you can really, make a career journey out of and a business venture like you have. Yeah. So where do you think, I suppose, that had you always an eye for floristry, or did it just come to you? Like,
I always loved flowers, and I think everybody has a bit of a fantasy of, I'd love to pack it all in and become a florist. Like it's that and own a bookshop, isn't that like every girl's kind of dream? So it was always kind of in the background, and I knew I was creative, but I couldn't find my medium. And I'm from a really creative family, so I thought that I was just the funny one, and they were all creative. Turns out I'm creative and funny, so no, I'm only messing. But yeah, I came across flowers accidentally. Like I do call myself the accidental florist. But the second I found them, I loved them, and it just clicked, You
describe yourself as an accidental florist. How did you make the leap from your former career in social care?
So I was working in social care and I was getting married, and we were having a hen party, and my friends organised a flower crown party for my hen, and I just loved it. Like that was my first time really doing any sort of designing with flowers, and I just loved it. The women who ran that school, they're called Jeanette and Deirdre, and they run a flower school called Kay's Flower School. And I followed them on socials afterwards, and they were open 30 years that year. So they ran a scholarship programme, like a competition. And when I came back from my honeymoon, I quit my job because I was doing 24-hour shifts. I wanted to have a family, all of this. And I was like, I'm just going to be free for the summer and see where the summer takes me. And I entered that scholarship for the crack, not knowing that a couple of other people had entered me into the competition as well, and I won it.
Congratulations. And that was the stepping stone. That's amazing. And I did see as well, you did your Flower Girls flowers with daffodils.
Yes.
As well for your wedding.
Yeah. So I wasn't a florist when I got married. Yeah. So, but yeah, I did.
So all the signs were there.
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, the daffodils was a funny story because my dad loved his garden, and he planted daffodils because I said, I want daffodils all over my wedding. But we had a really warm winter, like that January, February, and they all bloomed and had died by the wedding. And only on the way down to the wedding, we realised we didn't have flowers for the Flower Girls, so we stopped at a garage and got some daffodils, but they looked great.
And that's the thing, I think when you're green fingered, you can do anything with flowers. You can really make something amazing.
It's really hard to make flowers look bad because they're so beautiful.
Also, there is an exceptional amount of talent involved. Even when we did our Sandyford event, Sandyford being where we are obviously, and the gorgeous work you did here with the cornices, it's just, and I mean Flower Pop, it's only just making sense to me now because the flowers make it pop. Yeah. So our event just looked incredible, and it just formed the perfect space. And it's like we were happy with the room. We were like, this looks amazing, but it wasn't finished until the flowers were there.
No.
So it's like the missing part.
We always say the flowers are the salt and pepper to an event. That little bit of seasoning that just levels it up.
Flower Pop's identity is so distinctive, bold, expressive and full of personality. How did you shape that identity in the early days?
So I think when I started, as I said, I very much was like, I'm going to get a real job. So it was just me on social being me. And it was all very authentic. I didn't have a set plan or anything. And I am loud and chatty and colourful in what I wear and all of that. Like, so I think that just kind of came through naturally, you know? So yeah, so now obviously there's a little bit more strategy behind it and all of that, but it was all very organic at the beginning.
And I think that's kind of the thing, because, you know, there's brand values and there's all of that, but there is a real heart and soul behind every business, and particularly as kind of a founder-led business, and we'll kind of talk about your social media presence later on, but you are very present on the social media, so you can see it's not like a brand value, it's just flower pot.
Yeah, like I love our customers, like, and our clients, and I love chatting to them and having that interaction, you know, and I do love social media. Like my Instagram helped me build my business, you know.
Yeah.
So like I love that, and I don't ever want to be a faceless brand just churning out products. Like that's not what I'm about, you know.
So next up we have our design dilemma. So we got our question from Lucy, and Lucy wants to know, so she has a dinner party coming up and she's really nervous about the tablescaping, isn't really confident, but she really wants to impress her guests. So she's asking, to make the perfect tablescape in the summer, what would you recommend?
So I would recommend like being true to yourself. So try, if you're not a formal person, don't try and make this big formal table setting. I'm a big fan of mixing and matching. Like if you're having your friends over for dinner, you don't need to, you know, spend a load of money getting loads of new things in. Mix and match your plates. Try and find one theme. So say, for example, your theme is a flower. Have a plate that has a flower going through it. Bring that through to your glassware. Maybe like a runner on your table is a little bit more casual, but if it's like a fancier dinner, like a full length tablecloth is always going to look gorgeous. My tip for flowers for a table would be, go to your florist a few days before your event. So people tend to be afraid the flowers are going to die straight away, but actually you want your roses to open. So I would say 3 or 4 days prior to an event, and go to your florist, let them know your table plan, and you know, like get it rather than buying a bunch, get a few different stems and make little bud vases at different heights. Like you can really make flowers stretch if you play with different heights and different varieties. But yeah, I think the easiest thing to do is pick a theme and run that through, whether that theme is a colour or a print, and just try and feed that through everything. But also, you know, once you have great food, great music, great scents when people are coming into the house, that's going to create like a lovely flow.
Definitely, and repetition is always key, you know, and and like you say, it can be the theme, it can be the flower, it can be the vase. Just to touch on our vases, in this season for summer, there's really strong colour palettes coming through. So we've got our primary colour kind of palette here, and then we've got our pinks and the gorgeous lemon vase that I know you picked up for yourself. So yeah, I think like you say, vases, the table, dressing, layer, and it all will just come together, and don't be afraid.
No, absolutely. Like have fun, particularly if it's at home, like you're having fun and it's your friend, so you can have a bit of crack, you know. Like that lemon vase, I am obsessed. I actually just think all the vases you're doing at the moment are fabulous. I came over here to pull things for an event and went home with a bag of stuff for myself because it's just gorgeous. But it's that I've styled my whole summer kitchen off that vase now, you know. So like that's the thing, pick something you love and let that lead your way, you know.
Next, we'll dive into Behind the Style, and this is all about you, Heather. We'll explore your creative vision, floral designs, and personal style. Your floral arrangements and installations always feel fresh, editorial, and sometimes a little unexpected. What are the style references or sources that inspire you most?
So I really pull my inspo from everything, like from, you know, what's on the runway, from movies. Like I'm a big Wes Anderson fan, so I love that kind of like quirky. That's that would be my style, you know. So like I love looking around and seeing, and also what other people are doing, like what other florists are doing. I love like I think Australian florists are just like pulling it out of the park. Korean florists. So I'm really inspired by everyone around us, and Irish florists obviously are doing amazing things as well. But fashion, music, you know, like just anything that's a little bit rebellious gets me kind of, you know, it turns my head. So yeah.
Yeah, and I suppose again, just in what you're doing, you do the floristry for fashion events, and you do, you know, you're kind of in general industries as well, even interiors. So it brings you a lot of places. So I suppose you're always finding inspiration in the places that you go and the people that you meet and the things that you can see around you. And they go hand in hand, because the flowers make things pop, but I suppose the flowers are inspired by what's happening in style and fashion.
Absolutely. Like if we have an event coming up and we're approached to do the flowers, I want to know the feeling of that event. You know, I want to know, like, what do you want your like your guests to feel when they're there. I want to know everything down to what colour is the napkin, what colour is, like when I came here and did a recce when we were doing the event, I wanted to see the different colours that were here and what would work. So it's an overall feeling and an overall inspiration. And I love getting together with a creative team for an event from everyone, just to see.
And there's an energy. And when, creative minds come together and everyone's really inspired by something, it's amazing to work in that kind of space, but then also the result is amazing because everyone's poured their love and passion into it. And again, we've always felt that in the events that we've done with you. There's such a love and passion, and the attention to detail is just
and that
incredible.
Rush at the end.
Yes.
Like there's nothing like it when you walk off and you're like, we absolutely nailed that.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, there's no better feeling. Do you find your own personal style influences how you approach Flower Pop's creative direction?
Absolutely. So like when I started, I would have been in my 30s and like I was very cash and into streetwear and stuff like that. But I turned 40 there last month. But I'm finding that my style is leveling up, for want of a better word. It's maturing, and so is Flower Pop. So we did a rebrand last year and we went away from that magenta pink and we're gone a little bit like cooler and a little bit more editorial. And I think our flowers are starting to flow into that more luxury editorial space as well. They're still fun and they're still very much us, but they've just stepped up. And as I feel like that's happening with my personal style as well. Like as you get older, I'm getting a little bit more conscious of what I'm buying. I want to buy investment pieces. So yeah, that's all. It's all playing together. Like it's actually really interesting to watch when you sit down and look at it.
Yes, and the website, just to touch on that, is amazing. The first thing I saw was the flower as the cursor. I was like, that is incredible.
So gorgeous.
My mind was blown. I was like, we need a sofa on our website as our cursor.
I really wanted a beautiful website because I feel we do everything on our phones now. And I wanted a website that was like a magazine. Like I wanted a destination website where people wanted to go and buy their flowers because there's so much to look at on there and it's so pretty. So yeah, I love it.
And there's a sense of bravery and a sense of confidence to it. And I loved the scrolling words. It was bold flowers for bold people. Yeah. And I also like as well, there's no like frills or fuss. It's very much like, here's what we do and we do it well. And this is us telling you, and this is where we're at. It's amazing. Do you have any design rules you love to follow or break?
So one of the things that they teach us in K's is we're going to teach you all of the rules so that you can break them properly. So I do love that. Yeah. I'm a big fan of clashing. Like, I love the fundamentals of floristry. Like, as I say, it's hard to make flowers look bad, but you can if you're not following like the patterns and the formulas of how to do an arrangement. But then I love having fun with colours and textures and putting things together that you wouldn't necessarily think of,
The unexpected.
The unexpected, like adding fruit into an arrangement or, like tucking material in where a flower should go and having that flowing out. Like just, pushing boundaries a little bit. I love that. Yeah, but colour clashing is my fave.
And colour drenching as well is great. We absolutely loved how you styled our neon yellow vase that you chose for yourself. You said it was your favourite from the Easy Living Interiors Spring Summer Home Accessories collection. Can you tell us a bit about your own interior style and how it might influence or contrast with what you're doing at Flower Pop?
Yeah, so I think that yellow vase is like the epitome of my style. It's like a simple structured shape but a really bright colour, and I love that. I rent, so I like pick very specific pieces, but obviously most rental houses are magnolia or white and you can't paint them and stuff, so I add colour through pieces like that. And there's a lot of neon in my house. I love a little pop of neon here and there, so that's, and I think that's Flower Pop. We either have like a block colour in an unusual shape, or we have like a mix of colours in a more traditional shape. Like we like to push those things around, Yeah.
And I relate to that a lot as well as a renter. There's a lot of things you can do that are inexpensive but also make the biggest difference. So vases, flowers, plants,
absolutely,
rugs,
and I think
all of
invest in them because they're the things that you can take when you do ever, like we're hoping to buy this year, so they're the things that you can take to your forever home. And they're you. And for me, like we've lived in a good few houses over the last few years, but as soon as I put down my rug or hang my frames or take out my vases, it's my home, because that there are things,
And you know what's funny? We recently moved apartment, and when we'd taken all of the accessories out, it was empty. Do you know that kind of way? And I was like, God, we really did make something of this apartment, even though we didn't change the furniture. So yeah, get some vases, get some flowers, make it your own, and you can do whatever you want. You're not limited as a renter ever. Yeah. Now let's talk about what inspires you today. The mood board will offer a snapshot of what's inspiring you creatively right now, talking all about the visual inspiration and floral storytelling that goes into your creative world. When you start designing a floral installation or arrangement, where does your inspiration usually begin? Is it a colour palette, shape, mood, or something else entirely?
So it's that thing that I was saying earlier, like I want to find the event, you know? So like we have brides and some brides, like we had a bride there 2 weeks ago. She was the best bride ever. She got married in Luttrellstown Castle, and her theme was, I wanted to feel like a really glamorous house party. And like we filled this big, beautiful mantelpiece with disco balls. Like you wouldn't see something like that normally in Luttrellstown, but it was gorgeous, you know, it looked really cool. And we just went wild with colour, but that's what she wanted. And we had like electric blue candles on the old school like candelabras. And then somebody else wants something really elevated and considered, and you know they want to create a really romantic, moody theme. So you know it's all about the feeling. Like, what do you want your guests to feel when they walk into your wedding, when they walk into your room? You know, what do you want to feel in 50 years' time when you're looking back at your photographs? So I'm looking for the feeling, and then we're pulling from there. Like one of our things when we're talking to brides and stuff is I ask what's your inspiration? What music do you like to listen to? What's your favourite cocktail? Like I want to get a sense of who they are, you know? It was like, she was the best bride ever. I loved her. She wore an electric blue dress with fringe and I know, obsessed.
Are there any flowers you find yourself coming back to again and again, your must-haves for any project?
So I had a big moment with anthuriums. You know, they're like a kind of an oval shape and they have this stalk going up them. They're called Painter's Palette as a little nickname. I had a big moment with them, but I'm kind of moving away from them now. I love ranunculus. A ranunculus are from the rose family, and it looks like it's made from origami paper. It's just gorgeous. It's long lasting. It comes in sherbet colours. It comes in neutrals. It's just so fabulous. I love that, and I love a rose.
Classic.
Yeah, and I think people think of roses like as the roses they see in a supermarket or whatever, but they come in so many amazing varieties. Yeah, and obviously everybody loves a peony, but their season is so fleeting, you know. But I love that, you know. They're like, they show up, they show off, and then they're gone. Yeah, they're like, you've had enough of me, I'm gone. I love a tulip, and just speaking to like the different kinds they come in, I didn't realise the range of choice in a tulip. But even different varieties, like there's a tulip called a Paris tulip, and it's just amazing, and it opens up like the mouth of a parrot, and it comes in all these incredible colours. You can get frilly ones. They look like they're made from lace. Tulips are great, actually. They're a great show, and they last for ages. Yeah. And you know, if you cut a tulip, it continues to grow in your vase. So like we love using them in arrangements because they do their own thing. Like we put the tulip in and it goes off wherever it wants and we let it do its thing. I think they're the most gorgeous, but I actually have a personal design dilemma to ask you. So I'm never sure when I buy them, you know, they come like, and there's leaves kind of coming all the way up to the flower. Yeah. I take the whole leaf off and it's just is that the right thing to do? Well, it's a personal preference. Any leaf that's going below the waterline, absolutely. Like that has to come off. Because then I go too far with it and I'm like, oh, it's bare now. So I've taken it all away. So I never know like how much to trim, and take off the lower ones and leave the top one up there, and it's going to add a little bit of fullness for it. Yeah. And then if they droop, they love a little copper coin in the bottom of the vase. It does work. Speaking of drooping, what I find really interesting about flowers as well is the tropisms, like phototropism, geotropism. I find that so interesting. Like flowers like anemones and stuff, like we love cutting them in the morning and then by the end of the day they're off doing their own thing, and it's fab. They're amazing because they're like a little life form, and I think that's also, there's a real like feeling because that's what we keep kind of coming back to when you see flowers, because it's a natural living thing. So it just kind of, and there are proven health benefits of being around them and mental benefits as well. And like when we come in the mornings, there's some flowers who are asleep, you know, and then they'll wake up as the day goes on and the light comes in. Like they really are. You have to come in and check everything each day. Like like particularly coming up to weddings and events and things, every flower needs they're not all treated the same. They all need different things. So you have to come in and say hello to your babies. I was just going to say, do you say good morning and good night? Who behaved last lullabies. Yeah. I love that. How do you approach using seasonal flowers? Do you prefer to let the seasons lead your work, or do you like bending the rules? So a little bit of both. But again, as I'm kind of maturing into my trade and into my craft, and sustainability is at the forefront of everyone's mind, I absolutely love using seasonal flowers. And the Irish grower market has exploded, and it needs to get bigger because we grow amazing flowers here. Now our flower season is short, it's like kind of April to October, but the quality of flowers coming out of Ireland is lovely. So where possible, I use that, you know. And then I do love throwing a little a little random flower in there every now and then just to mix things up, But yeah.
And it's like we say about the peonies, like when the peonies are in season.
Oh, like you're not going to use anything else.
Exactly.
Yeah, like why would you?
Why would you? Exactly. 100%. What's your favourite flower to work with? Like 100% favourite, and why? If you had to pick one, I know that's difficult.
I would say ranunculus, because you can do so much with them. They're so playful, but then they can be formal as well. Like they're great for buttonholes. They're great for bouquets. They're great for arrangements. They have a great longevity, and they just come in the most beautiful colours. And when they open, like just watching them open is just spectacular. So I would say that. And I do love a hydrangea as well, because she's like a show queen. She shows up, she takes up space, she doesn't mind, like, being the star of the show. I love a hydrangea. Yeah.
What colour combinations or floral pairings are you loving right now, especially for summer?
I'm having a big sunset moment.
Ooh.
Yes. I'm really, like, I go to work really early in the mornings and I watch the sunrise, and I'm often there late at the moment because we're doing a reno, so I'm watching the sunset. But I'm just so inspired by the lilacs and the peaches, and you'll see that coming through our new studio. Like, it's really my focus at the minute. We have a great wedding coming up where sunsets is the kind of theme and that, and I'm just really like, it's just like, it's given like Aperol and like a little bare shoulder, it's like summer. Love it. Yeah.
And the wedding you have coming up, is it an outdoor kind of sunset, like literally under the sky, or?
Yeah, well, it's going to be, hopefully if the weather plays ball, we'll have the ceremony outside, but it's in a beautiful venue, Ratchela House. It's with a gorgeous influencer that we all know, Fionnuala Moran.
No way. Yeah. Oh my God, Fionnuala Moran.
Yeah.
She's fab. I spotted her at the Ideal Home show actually, and she looked fabulous.
Oh, she's gorgeous, and she's so fun and so beautiful, and I'm just really excited to work with her on it. And like, she's so creative, so like it's a really great one to work on. Yeah,
brilliant. Well, best of luck with your wedding, Fionnuala. Your flowers are going to be amazing. What best describes the feeling of home for you?
So when I think of home when I was younger and stuff, my feeling is like sanctuary and safety, which is so lovely. I'm really lucky to have that feeling when I think of it. But like, I always knew I could go home, even as a 38-year-old adult. I could ring my mum and dad for anything. And so it's really important to me that I create that feeling at home. So I love my house to feel open, like welcome and opening to anyone. Anyone can walk in the door. I have blankets everywhere. I have cushions everywhere. I want you to come in and take your shoes off because you want to, not because you have to, and put your feet up on the couch and throw a throw over you and help yourself to tea if you want. Like, I think a home should be warm and full of love and comfort, comfortable is what I want.
It's time for a quick fire round. We'll ask you 5 quick questions to get your top picks, favourite things and style preferences. No need to overthink it. This round is all about first instincts. What is the favourite room in your home?
I love my bedroom. It's so comfy. It's so soft. My kids come into me in the morning. They sleep in their own rooms, but about 6 o'clock they come in and they get on over side of me, and I'm just like, oh, this is heaven.
What is your favourite song you're playing on repeat at the moment?
I have Kneecap on repeat at the moment. I just love them. Their album is brilliant. And like, it's terrible. I don't speak a lot of Irish, so I don't recognise half of what they're saying. But the stuff that I do, I think they're brilliant. Brilliant musicians. I think they're great.
Favourite way to unwind and recharge? Have you a favourite TV show, movie or hobby?
I don't have much time for hobbies at the moment. I do. I like weightlifting when I have a chance, so I need to get back into that. I just like to get out of my head and into my body, so I love that.
What is your favourite holiday destination when you have time for a holiday?
Yeah, I love Achill. Like, Achill on a good day. Like, you couldn't put me anywhere else in the world. Keene Bay and everything, just, it's fab. This, like, the smell of salt, that kind of wildness. I just love it so much.
What is your favourite memory from your entire flower pop journey so far?
There's so many. I would have to say probably the Beckham birthday. Yeah. Because I said before about I have a nostalgia with Guinnesses, and that was my first job with them. And I was upstairs in the Gravity Bar. I had just found out that it was for the Beckhams because there was like this whole secrecy around it. I was with one of my really good friends, Grace, who's a stylist, and she's incredible. And with the both of us were just like this. We'd both kind of like, we were new enough with our businesses, and we were like, this is wild. But it being in the Gravity Bar overlooking Dublin, where I'd always wanted to work, where I spent a lot of my childhood running around Guinnesses with my dad, it just was this real warm, heartfelt, like, wow, like, yeah. This is my job. Like, I felt on top of the world, and I was, because I was literally on top of the world overlooking Dublin, so yeah, that's there for sure. Yeah,
literally on top of the world. Okay, so next we'll move on to a segment called the Flower Pop Edit. With Flower Pop, you've built a bold, expressive flower studio with a strong creative identity, blending contemporary floristry, design instinct, and joyful, unexpected storytelling. We want to delve into how you use flowers to shape spaces and create impact, whether it's a wedding, a brand experience, or a fresh bouquet for someone's home. Flower Pop is proudly based in Dublin 8, a place you clearly have a strong connection with. What role has your community and local environment played in shaping your creative approach?
So I absolutely love where we are. I love Dublin 8. I'm actually from Tala, but I've always lived in Dublin 8 as an adult, and my mum always jokes and says that I should have been born a townie because I'm happy in town, you know. But what I love about Inchicore is there's that real mix of the old school community who grew up there, who built it to what it is, and then the likes of me who's a blow-in coming in and opening a fancy flower shop. But it's really important to me in the shop that there's something for everybody, because there's such a mix of incomes and stuff in Inchicore, you know, and I want everyone to be able to walk in and feel at home there and comfortable. It's a very intimate job. People come in and they say, I need to get flowers for a funeral, and they tell you all about the person. Or I want to get flowers for my girlfriend, it's her 10-year anniversary, and they tell me all about that. So like you really get to know your community really well, you know, like it's really lovely. We're very linked in with lots of businesses. Like we do a lot of work with Diageo. They've been great to us. My dad worked in Guinness's his whole career, and I used to say to him when I was younger, will you get me a job in Guinness's when I grow up? And he would say Guinness's is a place for men to work, because he was a bit old school. And now I'm their florist, for want of a better word. I do it, like I'm not their actual florist, but I do a lot of events with them. And they brought us in and took a picture of us for the Humans of Dublin 8. So I'm part of their permanent exhibition now, where I talk about the shop and all of that. Like, so it's really, there's such a sense, even though Dublin 8 is quite big, there's a real sense of it being a village, you know, and it's great, and all the businesses look after each other and everything, and it's great.
Well, it's even like you were saying, where you get your nails done is next to your new shop that we will get onto the renovation. I can't wait to get into that. But even you were like, oh, and I brought them a gift, and but like that's just so lovely. It's that kind of local business mindset of like, we're all neighbours here, and that's amazing.
And small business owners really understand how tough it is, how brilliant, but also how tough it is to be a small business owner. So I do find we all kind of look after each other, you know.
And just going back to, so it's my girlfriend's anniversary, and now I'm getting her flowers. I can imagine you might have someone comes in, okay, it's our 1-year anniversary, and you know, you might see people's lives and kind of, oh, it's engagement flowers and now it's their wedding flowers. Have you ever had experiences where you get to kind of grow up with people?
Absolutely. Like we had a couple walk into our shop when we first opened, kind of back in that November, and they were like, oh, we've just moved into the area, we're renovating our house at the moment. They came back to us about 6 months later and they were like, we're getting married, will you do the wedding? So we did their wedding. They're gorgeous, Niall and Lola, gorgeous couple. And then they had their first baby around the same time that I had my daughter Cece. So like we did like flowers for their baptism and stuff, and we were hanging out with each other. And now they've since moved to Wicklow, but like we still follow each other online and have all of that. But like, yeah, we totally saw them through, and that happens a lot, you know. Yeah. And we've had a few people who shop with us quite regularly who have gone on to pass on, like local people, and they've specifically said, will you make sure Flower Pop do the flowers? And we know them, so it's not like a cookie cutter funeral arrangement. It's all about them. We ask for flowers from their garden, different things. Like we take funeral flowers very, 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 very seriously.
For listeners who want to update their space with flowers this summer, what's a simple yet impactful way to begin? So
I think become best friends with your local florist. So I think we all think like, oh, we can pop into the supermarket and get flowers, but become best friends with your local florist, because your florist is going to be able to help you pick seasonal flowers that are going to last longer. Like that, if you're having a dinner party on a Friday and you go into them, they'll say, actually, you need to get your flowers on Tuesday. They're going to look their best on Friday. They'll tell you what to do with them when you go home, because as I said, each flower needs a different process to get it looking its best. So become best friends. They might be a slightly higher price point, but they will last you longer. Like when I first started, my mum used to be like, your flowers are too expensive, but now she's the biggest advocate for me, because I used to say they're just out of your budget, ma'am. But
I love that.
Now she's like, they last for 3 weeks, and she tells everyone, don't be buying them from the supermarket because Heather's flowers are still on the table. And you know, so there is a difference in quality. It's like comparing, you know, a fast food restaurant to your lovely local indie restaurant. There is a difference there, you know.
It's like if you get a blow dry, your hair will not need to be washed for 4 or 5 days. If you do it at home, 2 days kind of thing, and you get the longevity.
So I think make friends with your local florist. Don't overthink it, you know. Like if you do need to pop in somewhere and buy a bunch, separate that bunch. Don't put it into a vase in the middle of your floor, like in the middle of your table. Get little bud vases, and it doesn't even have to be bud vases. Like if you have a beautiful bowl, you know, put some flowers into that. Just be playful and don't take it too seriously.
Your collaborations with Easy Living Interiors have been so fun and full of life. Is there a favourite event that stands out to you, from our dining experience here in Sandyford to our wreath building workshop over Christmas or our recent Style Stories podcast launch?
I loved the Style Stories podcast launch because like I come in and saw the space, and then we were told like do what you do, and I love when a client says that because you get to have loads of fun. But the Christmas wreath workshop for me, I just love teaching. I love it, and I love getting to like pass on those skills to people, and to know that people are going home and hanging this beautiful thing on their door, and they have it and they can be really proud of it. Such a lovely space here to do things like that as well. You know, like it's really fab. Yeah.
You recently launched your new website and you're working on Flower Pop's Forever Home in Tyrconnell Road. Tell us a bit about that evolution, what you hope the new space will bring outside of the demo space. How are you finding the experience of renovating?
I'm loving the experience of renovating because, again, as I said, I'm a renter, so I've never got to like pick paint or do all of that. So it's been so fun. I've been working with my friend Kay Hobbins-Lockett. She's an interior designer. She's actually based in Cork. She's brilliant. And so like just going through paint colours with her, and like just like again, it's that feeling. It's like, what do we want? What feeling do we want when people come into this room? What feeling do they want when they go into their room? Like at the workshop space down the back, we need that to be calm, so it's green. And then the lilac, we want the like where people are in doing workshops, we want that to be really creative and lovely and fun. So it's like a sherbety lilacs. It's really colourful. And then the peach up the retail space is like calm and beautiful, and we've colour drenched that room so that the flowers and the products get to really shine. So it's a 10-year lease, which is a bit scary, but also very exciting. And it just feels home. Like we've done a lot of moving around. Even in the space that we were in before now, we were in between two units because that building's getting renovated. So we were in here for 6 months and there for 6 months. I can't wait to actually for everything to have a place, you know, for me to have a desk for like, we had a warehouse for a while between the two. So like we were back and forth. Everything's going to be in one place. We can hone in and get everything done. Like I want the client and the customer experience this year to be perfect and seamless and just really elevate that, you know. I think that's
and it already feels, just from a client perspective, it already feels seamless, so I can only imagine what's going to come, and it'll kind of be amazing for you, I guess, like you say, just for everything to be in the one place. You can kind of have these workflows and kind of, you know, it'll change things up for you guys. Yeah,
like I walked in the other day and the guy had started painting, James had started painting the retail space, and I just got this vision of myself at like 7 o'clock in the morning at Christmas time, because you often come in when there's no one else there, and I've got like an hour of emails to do before I start work on flowers, and I could just see how excited and at home I'm going to be. Like it's just lovely. It really feels, it's like the next step. Yeah, it does feel like home.
Oh, I'm so excited for you. Flower Pop has grown and evolved so much in a short space of time. If I had a magic wand, where would you like to see yourself in 5 years' time?
I'd like to step back a little bit, right? I work every day at the moment because we're getting to that point. I have 2 young kids. I'd like to step back a little bit. Like I'd like to have 2 days off a week, maybe 3, that'd be nice. And I'd love to start teaching a bit more professionally. So I'd love to open it up to that, you know, to be like people who are coming up through the ranks and they're learning. As I said, the IOF is starting to like really elevate like the professional standards in Ireland. I'd like to be a part of that. And I'm really excited to get a little bit more stuck in with the IOF, you know, and kind of help bring the industry up a bit. That's what I would love. Yeah.
I can't wait to see it happen. And even in terms of Flower Pop, as it just kind of grows, it'll probably take you places that you might not even have planned in your mind yet, but it will just kind of happen.
Yeah, I mean, it already has, you know, like it's been wild, you know, like it's like how it all just kicked off, and like from doing the Beckhams birthday and all of that, it's just, it's been mental, but I do love it. I can't wait to see what happens next.
Have you ever had like a pinch me moment where you've been like, is this real?
All the time. And I'm not saying that flippantly, like genuinely all the time. Like when you're on those big events working with these huge brands, and you're just like, we did a collaboration with Tanqueray last Christmas, and I was like, this is like Stanley Tucci works with Tanqueray, Amy Huberman, you know, and then me, you know. I was like, this is gas. But then even just the little things like being like that pinch me walking into my studio, being like, this is ours for 10 years, listening to Stevie Nicks at 7 o'clock in the morning making flowers. I'd be just like, how is this my job?
Do you have a Flower Pop playlist?
It's called Flower Bop on Spotify. Yeah.
Oh my God, obsessed. I'm looking it up. I'm signing up to that. So to close out the episode, we'll ask for your best take-home tip. What's one simple, high-impact way they can use flowers to transform a space or lift the mood this summer?
So again, I'll say make friends with your local florist and go in and chat to them. But I always think like again, pick your colour palette, and your colour palette might be pink, and but it might be all different shades of pink. And don't think about just putting flowers into one big vase on your table. Like, you have the most gorgeous vases at the moment in all different heights and sizes. Like, build that collection and take a bunch and take it apart and put like a tall flower stem in one, two in the other, and spread that down your table. Like, create that abundance. Use the vessels that you have and just have fun, be relaxed. Don't take it too seriously. But I'm like, take apart the bouquet. I love seeing people play with flowers. And also, like, go to a workshop. Like, we do them, other people do them. There's, go and learn from people as well. You don't have to want it to be a career. Yeah.
Fabulous. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
That was so easy. And I feel like I've learned so much about flowers. Now I want to be a florist.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for joining us on Style Stories with Easy Living Interiors. You can hear all the news, including links to more information, in the description area of this podcast. Please share our show with a friend who might enjoy it. Simply search Style Stories with Easy Living Interiors on Apple, Spotify or YouTube. This podcast is produced by justpod.io for Easy Living Interiors.